brings us to the next topic. Perfect little segue.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because things are just not working out for theaters, but there is this whole thing is working out for somebody. This company has not been hurt at all by this. It seems like they're winning.
And I own some of them.
And he owns some of them. So that brings me to topic number 2, and that is Netflix with the new record-breaking success. And we're going to talk about it. Things are not working out at the theaters. This is a topic number 4, excuse me. Things are not working out with theaters, but for this streaming platform, things are working out. And I have the report right here from Collider. It says Netflix passes a subscriber benchmark so big it'll mess with your brain's buffering. And yes, we are still watching.
Wow.
In a Q4 2020 letter released to investors, Netflix discussed their present areas of growth, what the future might look like for them, and how they believe they'll fare in the increasingly crowding marketplace for the streaming content. And while the streaming content is indeed super crowded with behemoth companies making giant plays for relevancy, Netflix explicitly acknowledges Disney Plus' first year, 87 million subscribers based in the letter. Netflix still believes they're the top dog. And frankly, they've got the numbers to back them up. The end of 2020 brought Netflix's total number of paid subscribers to a whopping 203.7 million, with an additional 37 million subscribers in the Star for Entertainment Climate of 2020. This started in 2020, guys, in March, and they got like 37 million subscribers last year. That's dope. This number is absolutely wild, yielding seemingly incontrovertible proof that Netflix is a pandemic-proof economy generator. In fact, a pandemic where no one could go anywhere likely helped them out in the long run. And now Netflix is projecting a 2021 where they'll break even instead of lose money for the first time in a long time. Their total net cash loss dropped from 1.5 billion in 2019 to just 138 million in 2020, and Netflix believes that the trend will continue. Larry, I'm gonna pass it to you first, sir. What do you think about this news for Netflix? What do you think about these numbers? What do you think about this report? The floor is yours.
Yeah, man, I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, that is a direction that's a direction that the industry has been going, even though many people want to fight against it, even though they want to sit up there and really say, they started off by trying to sort of downplay Netflix in a sense with content creators, with the movie makers and the producers and directors and the actors, trying to make it seem like going to Netflix was sort of a career step down. Like sort of how they used to try and make it seem with TV. They used to try and make it seem like, oh, big movie stars shouldn't do TV. That's a step down. You're going backwards in your career if you go to TV. And but what happened is you had people who have disrupted the industry like HBO did when HBO came out and started making these really excellent, well-written, cinematic type TV shows like Oz and The Sopranos and The Wire and all these, Game of Thrones. People don't think of TV as a step backwards. In fact, you're finding more and more of these movie stars wanting to go back into TV. And now when you have Netflix that is creating more and more original content, what's going to happen is you're starting to see things like Warner Brothers doing their thing, where they're just stuff that was set for the theaters, bringing them in onto streaming directly. What you're going to start seeing more and more of is just people saying, no, we're not interested in buying rights to that script or to that book or anything else for the theaters. We want that directly to streaming. We want to buy that for our streaming platform. And that's where it's going to go. So, I mean, we saw it with Will Smith with that movie he did with the Orc.
Right. You know, I was just about to bring it up. Right. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to see more and more of that where they're simply saying, we're going to put the big blockbusters on our platform. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see James Bond instead of, maybe not the next one, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the 2 or 3 Bonds from now, we see that the bidding war to have Bond is not even to go to the theaters. It's to put it directly on Netflix or HBO Max or whatever other streaming platform out there, Apple TV Plus. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing bidding wars on these really hot properties to go straight to streaming.
Right on.
I mean, that's what it is. If the theaters need to get their act together, because if they don't get on with the program, the rest of the world is moving on. And eventually people are just going to be like, I mean, let's not be real. I know people like to get out and about, but if I have the opportunity to watch a big blockbuster movie at home or watch it in the theaters, I'm watching it at home. I like the theater experience, but I also like to be able to hit pause and go to the bathroom. I like to be able to hit rewind and say, what did he say? I like to be able to turn on the closed caption when someone mumbles and I can't understand an actor, you know? So, I mean, the home theater experience has a lot of advantages. And even though I like the actual movie-going theater experience, I don't like it more than I like it at home. Now that I actually have a theater system at home, like I have my 70-inch TV, I have a good sound system, I'm comfortable here. And I think now we have, I mean, Netflix in a sense has become a verb, like how people talk about Google something. People talk about, I'm just going to go home and Netflix it. What are you going to do? I'm just going to go home and Netflix and chill. They may not even be talking about watching Netflix. They may just be talking about turning on HBO Max or Disney Plus or watching, Showtime on demand or something. But what they're using in Netflix is a verb. And whenever something is used as a verb, you know that company is here for the long haul.
They are. I was just about to say that. Right on. Lamont, what you got, man?
They're paving the way. They're a trailblazer. Everybody is going to have to either get with the program, and you can't beat them, you join them. This should be the model for everybody in the movie and TV series program right now. And I definitely agree that their business model is something that transcends the COVID era, because everybody nowadays has a nice, large TV at their home. Everybody does.
Right.
And you can sit in the comforts of your home with moving surround sound and watch it. Now, mind you, I still like the theater experience. I still like to be able to go with my geeks when Marvel has something coming out, whatever. But the issue we're fighting right now is it's not safe to do that. My wife got COVID. She's a doctor. I'm technically not supposed to be going anywhere right now. Everybody's on restrictions here. And I still want entertainment. You want that entertainment in your home, which is why I like Netflix for forcing other streaming apparatuses, other movie companies to have to do something to get their stuff on a streaming device. Having said that, the next great investment, if you guys can't afford to spend the $500 Netflix did, because when that earnings came out, the very next day, Netflix went up a whole $100 per share. Your next biggest opportunity to capture some of that growth in an entertainment platform completely is Disney. Disney's $172 right now. And their next few quarters is not going to be based on Disney's properties in terms of Disney World and Disneyland, because that's still shut down. Right. And that brings in half of Disney's revenue. They're banking. They got rid of their dividend for the sake of retuning, refining the streaming service. And they're saying that by 2024, they're going to pass 200 million people. And when they do that and the theme park is open, that particular stock is going to grow more than Netflix, because they'll have more things to offer than Netflix. Now, if Disney really wants to claw away at that Netflix lead, take some of that money out their pocket, Disney has one of the most robust core of entertainment products they can put on a streaming device right now. Open it up. Put all the movies up there. You've already got these Marvel TV series coming out. You've got a couple of cartoons coming out this year. You're supposed to be having that Bond thing coming out. Fuck it. Put it all on Disney Plus, and then you will destroy the ankles of Netflix. You will nip those heels of Netflix, and you will get people subscribing to the service called Disney Plus and sticking.
I'll tell you, I have to disagree with you on that in some respect, because the reason why I think Netflix is going to be safe is Netflix has the freedom to acquire content from everywhere, where Disney is all Disney property stuff. It's all Disney property, whether that be, ESPN Plus or Disney or Marvel, but Netflix can go anywhere. You go open up Netflix and they have content from some random producer in South Africa, or from some guy who created a short mini series in Australia, or some producer who made a 200 episode TV series in China. I mean, they're acquiring content from all across the globe, and it's wonderful content. It's fantastic. Disney can't do that. Disney doesn't allow themselves to do that.
I'm kind of in between y'all, because
why Disney can't do that when they have just done that? They bought back the Fox properties. They bought ESPN.
But that's the point. They're only getting it's all their content. Everything that's going on their platform is their content. Right. Netflix is going out and licensing content from everywhere.
No. That's what's been killing Netflix. Now, I do agree with you. Right, I'm finna bring up this other article right here, and I'm sorry I did not send this to y'all. I found it today, but I do agree with you, Larry, as far as Netflix is going to be safe, because prior to this report, I was going into this like, Netflix, man, y'all keep losing each year. Y'all are in the negative, billions of dollars, because y'all spend so much money on original content, and so, but now after this report, I'm like, okay, they are going to be safe, because one of the things that really just stood out to me is this last line right here is saying their total net cash loss dropped from 1.5 billion in 2019 just to 138 million. So if this trend continues, eventually they may move into profit land, but we have this other thing right here from Investopedia, and it says the cost of the content business. Securing license agreements is one of the biggest expenses for Netflix. At the end of 2019, Netflix had 24.5 billion of content assets on its balance sheet, up from 20.1 billion the year before. This is the important part. Of the licensed content accounted for 14.7 billion in 2019 and 14.08 billion in 2018, the company is devoting more of its financial resources to developing its own TV programming and film, and it had 9.8 billion in produced content in 2019 from 6 billion in 2018. And if you keep reading, one thing I just took from that is like one of the things that was killing them is that they spend so much money on licensing fees each year to obtain that content. That's one of the things that was killing them to me. But I mean, I guess they had a plan and they stuck to it, and they're turning it around now. So while their net loss is going down, but it's just my
I think a lot of that is I think they're thinking of the entertainment industry and the movie distribution industry in the same way that Amazon was thinking about products. They're doing certain things as loss leaders. They know that for a period of time they're going to lose money so that they can make it up on the back end. Like right now, when people think about, if you ask probably anybody who has streaming services, if you have to give up all your streaming services except for one, which one is it going to be? Now, except for you guys, because I know both of you are hardcore Marvel fans, you might decide I'm keeping Disney Plus. I can tell you without a doubt, I would keep Netflix if for no other reason. My wife would not let me let it go. I mean, a few months back, I was getting rid of stuff. My wife said, you can get whatever you want, but we're not getting rid of Netflix. And that's what it was. I mean, Netflix is the go-to service for people. And so they have spent a lot of money to bring people in, and Netflix has been slowly raising their prices. So it's sort of like you're boiling the frog. They start off at $6.99, $7.99, then they introduce, HD and then UHD, and then they charge you a little bit more for that. Then, and then they're introducing HDR content. They're going to charge you a little more for that. And I mean, they're charging a little bit more, adding more and more content. And on top of that, it's sort of the same lines with Amazon, where people talk about Amazon's killing the mom and pop stores, Amazon's killing the shopping malls. Well, Netflix may be killing the theaters, and so you may end up where there's nothing left of the theater system except for the small indie theaters that show art films that you're not going to get on Netflix, that you're going to get, where the people that are showing their film festival films and such. But when you get to that point, you feel some people may be upset, so there's no place else for me to go but Netflix. Right. So guess where you're going? Netflix.
Right on, right on. Lamont, you got anything else, man? And I feel you, Larry. I do. You got anything else, or you good?
Netflix and Disney, get them both.
Already.
I agree. I agree.
I mean,
Okay.
he made a great soliloquy, but in terms of finances, if you're dealing with the stock market, Disney's already cash surplus. They're diversified. They're still bringing in high revenue with their half of their revenue being cut short. If they can just fine tune that streaming service to let everything go, it will catch up with, it'll get to that 200 million subscribers worldwide before 2024. So I'm all for Netflix continuing to force people's hand.
Cool. Well, guys,
I still think Viacom might be a good one too.
Oh, well, I bought a call on Viacom that lasts till March, and I'm already up.
hey, like I'm telling y'all in the live chat right now, holla at your boy. Go subscribe to his channel, Stock Market Genius. You know what I'm saying? But seriously, but guys.